Hello, Dizzians of YouTube. So quick update on the Crucible card project I've been working on. I have not managed to get any games of Warmachine in the last probably 2 months. And it's really affecting my drive to finish these models. Now, I think Warmachine as a game is a very good game. I don't think it's going to go away, but I also don't think it's going to be as popular as it has been. None of the local gaming stores I currently am involved with have a community. I built a community. 8th edition came out for 40k, and now that community is back to playing Warhammer 40k. And if that's their love of game, then God bless them and let them play what they want. A little bit of a gripe fest here, fellas and gals. But the problem I've got is I have an army. It's not a full army of 75 points or anything, but before I can justify spending more money on this army, I would have to be able to get games in on a consistent enough basis. Like right now, I can go find 40k anywhere I want. I can go find Shadespire just about anywhere I want. I can go find Keyforge with a couple buddies of mine. But Warmachine, it's just died off. At least in my area. If your area has a great Warmachine crowd, then please, for the love of God, support it and keep it going. But right now, I'm struggling. I'm not saying I'm going to sell the army, but I also don't want to have to drive 2 hours to play in a tournament when I can't get games into practice, and I won't give a good showing of myself, or drive 2 hours just for a game night that's going to last 3, and I'll get 1 game of Warmachine in at 75 points if it lasts that long. And part of me wants to continue with Warmachine and Hordes because I have loved this game for 10 years. 10 years, or actually, no, since it released. Almost 15 years ago, folks. But if I'm not getting games, I can't justify the expense, I can't justify the time that I'm away from my family or anything else. So this may be getting shelved in favor of other things. If this never gets played again, I have no reason to keep these models. I don't use them for D&D. The only setting they fit is the Iron Kingdom setting, and that's a very specific setting for the models, that faction I've chosen. So the problem then becomes, do I maintain the models? Do I store them somewhere and put them in a display cabinet if I paint them to that level? Or do I just say, you know what? I've enjoyed this game, but it has died off so much in my area that I need to go ahead and just call it quits and get the rest of the way out while I can. Make some of my money back. I hold no illusions. Once you buy models, the secondary market, unless you are a top-notch painter, you're not going to make your money back. I mean, I've accepted that, especially since I went with an off-color scheme of purple. Excuse me. So, things to consider whenever you get into a game. Now, like Infinity, very small model count, 35 bucks, sure. I'm not going to sneeze at that. This box, even on sale at Discount Games Incorporated, over $100. To buy more stuff for this faction to make it competitive, because I would want to play this as a competitive game, because I'm that kind of player. I would want this to be my mental exercise. I would need to buy more stuff, obviously, and that's not cheap. Now, the other games I have in the room currently, the Shadespire Night Vault that I've told you about in the past, they do scratch that tactical itch. The depth of gameplay that I look for. It's not the same as this, but it does have options for depth of gameplay. And whereas 40k is not as in depth, but I can get games. I can go to any shop in my state and find Warhammer players. Warmachine players, much harder to come by these days. Hopefully when this airs, I will have made arrangements to have at least get another game in before I decide to throw in the towel. But at the moment, these might be on the chopping block. And it's not that I think the game is bad, it's just I can't get the community to grow where I'm at. And for me, driving that far is just not feasible, not when I've got a child and a family to take care of. So it's something to consider whenever you're playing these games. Hey, is this time commitment that I'm putting into this for a specialist game inside of a specialist hobby? Because War Machine is still a niche inside of a niche hobby. 40K is obviously the big boy. Since I've mentioned 40K several times. 40K is obviously the big boy, but you know, this came out for a while and it was very competitive with 40K. And then I think the company has made a few mistakes since then. I don't think it's going to shutter its doors or anything. Excuse me. But I think that they need to be careful. I think that if they don't get the community back, if the community slowly shrivels up and dies, I think this game is going to go the way of the dodo. Again, other games that are out, the Shadespire game is getting into the skirmish scene really hard, and the GW engine has churned back up with the skirmish games, the Warcry that's coming out, Kill Team stuff that's come out. All those small scale, I need a very small box, I don't need to carry a big bag to move stuff, has started to catch back on. And whereas for a while this was your answer to the 40K, I don't want to have 5,000 models on the table, now GW has given answers to that in Kill Team, in Warcry and that sort of thing. So just a ramble. Thank y'all for listening. I apologize for my voice. I'm still in the grips of whatever this thing is that's going on. I'm one of those who hates going to the doctor, so hopefully if this doesn't alleviate, I will get myself to the doctor. But let me know what your thoughts are. Have you had games that you love just totally die out in your community after you built it several times? What's been your experience, and how have you kept the motivation for your hobby going? I'll see you all in the next video.